obviously were you at the previous World Cup and
Yep.
actually the previous two World Cups? How do you,
Yeah.
or World Championships, World
Yeah.
Cups?
Yeah.
How have you found the experience of going to those esports events?
For me, they were one of the best esports events I've visited so far.
Mhm.
I've mainly been to Valorant and Counter Strike events before, but then visiting Stockholm last year was amazing. Meeting the whole Dutch community there, um, with people that I'd only known for like maybe a couple of months, maybe like 6 months at
Mhm.
most. Um, and just still having such a fun weekend was amazing. I love the venue, and then I like the way GeoGuessr does its esport, even though many people disagree on the format and stuff. I think from an esports point of view,
Mhm.
it makes a lot of sense in terms of the way they do entertainment.
Yeah.
Um, Although I do disagree with this year's World Championship, where I did not like the way they incorporated the artists and the sidemen. Um,
Okay.
in terms of esports
Mhm.
events, I feel like it kind of missed the spot. Even though the event itself still
Yeah.
was great.
I felt like they were just trying to fill the time between games
Yep.
when that's when most of the crowd and everything there get up and leave and go and take
Yep.
a break. So yeah, it might have been interesting for people on the stream between games, but for
Yeah,
people at
but
the
the
arena,
worst part is it wasn't even on the stream.
was it not?
Like most of those segments weren't on stream. Like none of the musical appearances were
No.
on stream because they didn't have like the copyright
Oh, true.
rights for it and stuff. So and like you said, like almost all of the venue,
Yeah, it
everyone
just
left.
cleared out. Yeah,
Yeah. So me,
especially when
I
there was
feel
like a bit of a break between. I think it was before the final, or it was
yeah,
before the semi-finals and the third place. I think actually, and they had the was that the Icona Pop.
I think so. Yeah, yeah,
I wasn't even in the building. I don't know what was going on.
yeah.
It just seemed a bit like I'm not here for that. So I guess it can be cool if it was something I'm interested in, but I'm also not interested in them. So I'm just not gonna worry about it.
I feel like one musical appearance would have been enough, and
Hmm.
like the Sidemen thing was cool, but the way they did it kind of fell short. That's how I'm feeling about it. But besides that, the
Yeah.
event itself was great. I still met a lot of nice people,
Hmm.
um, um, and had a lot of good connections there.
Hmm.
Enjoyed the city, um, even though I'd already been to Copenhagen, and I was kind of was considering not going just because I'd already been and I'd already seen the city.
Yeah.
Um,
Same. Well.
but then I still enjoyed it. So I don't know. Yeah. But in terms of an event, like it was still a great event. I think they definitely upped their game from
Hmm.
Stockholm. I'm just not sure on the whole entertainment side with the sideman and the musical experiences and stuff.
And for people maybe listening and don't know who you are
Yeah.
necessarily or what you do, in terms of the GeoGuessr, the esports side of things,
Yeah.
could you sort of explain why you sort of are sort of more knowledgeable in that sort of aspect?
Um, well, for GeoGuessr specifically, I'm the organizer of the Dutch Championship.
Hmm.
Um, the first LAN event with the World Championship format. Um, it's regional Dutch LAN, not really anything special, but within GeoGuessr scene, it definitely was a special occasion, considering it was the first event of its kind, obviously, except like outside of Coupe de France, which
Hmm.
follows a completely different format.
Yep.
Got featured on national Dutch television, had a big reach, I think like 1.4 million on
Hmm.
all sorts of socials and TV and stuff. So definitely a big event. And besides that, I'm also a guest lecturer at the minor course at the University of Applied Sciences Amsterdam, which is called Future of Esports, where I teach about esports and streaming every year. Um, do workshops. I also follow a minor course about esports myself. So um, big esports guy. Not just within GeoGuessr, within all sorts of esports, within all sorts of games.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'd say that's just me in
So,
short.
what other games have you done, sort of thing, up until this point?
Before GeoGuessr, I was doing mainly Valorant and Counter Strike. Big FPS guy. Hosted a Valorant tournament space on Challenger mode called Blue Skirmish for about 2-3 years, where we grew up to 5,000 members.
Hmm?
So that was a very big accomplishment. I think we were like the first tier two, well, I'd say tier three space that actually had
Mm-hmm.
more than a couple thousand members and was hosting cash cups every single week. Eventually, we had to stop doing it because of a lack of funding, but that definitely grew my experience like within organizing tournaments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I took with me into the GeoGuessr community.
So, what got you interested in GeoGuessr then? If you came from sort of the big games, and then you started to you come down to this what feels like a smaller, obviously brand new esport.
Yeah. So a big part of for me was that I was following the minor esports course,
Mm-hmm.
the minor program in at the school in Amsterdam, right at the time. And when you're doing such an esports gaming course, obviously when you're in class, you're also inclined to start
Yeah.
gaming. But it's a bit hard to start playing Valorant or Counter Strike in class. Maybe Rocket League is something you can do, but like most
Mm-hmm.
of the big games are very hard to play on a laptop
Yeah.
within class without being without noticing like the teacher noticing it.
Your arms going
But
off the desk. Or,
GeoGuessr,
yeah.
yeah. But GeoGuessr obviously is one of those games you can
Yeah.
play in class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so uh, I'd already known about GeoGuessr since like 2015 because for everyone that's going to search up my profile, look at my profile on GeoGuessr, I've had my account since 2015, since November 2015. I think actually it was 2 days ago that I created it 10 years ago. Not sure. I think it was 10th
Quite
of November.
impressive, actually.
I'd have to look it up, but um, so it's been quite a while since I'd known about the game, and then I don't know why, but
Mm-hmm.
I think because we were doing the esports course, and I realized that was a GeoGuessr esports, I didn't know about that. Like
Mm-hmm.
with the first World Cup, I knew a Dutch person that won it because I'd seen it on the news because it was on the news in the Netherlands,
Was
but
it?
I didn't watch any of it, and then obviously I'm talking about the
Mm-hmm.
first solo World Cup, not about the
Yeah.
teams World Cup, but so I didn't know about that up until I followed the esports course. And I don't know if I don't think they talked about it, but for some reason I found out about it. And
Mm-hmm.
then I started playing the game again. And I'd already played the game back in 2015, I think probably up until 2017. Um, the way everyone was playing it back then, just
Yeah.
single player with a bit of Googling because nobody knew that wasn't allowed, right?
I
That's how
mean,
everyone got that first 25K probably. I think I was probably only playing Netherlands as well, wasn't playing the whole world because that was way too hard.
classic.
And then I know I was streaming and I streamed a lot of Minecraft in 2020. And then for some reason, I started streaming GeoGuessr as well.
Mm-hmm.
I had Wouter come in my stream. I had Rick come in my stream. The two
Uh,
big
if you know
Dutch
of
Twitch guys.
Dutch GeoGuessr, you know
Yeah,
those two. Yeah.
yeah. So those two came into my stream back in 2020 already.
Mm-hmm.
Then or like 2022, I think it was, 2022. And then I quit GeoGuessr. I quit streaming because I had to focus on school.
Yeah.
Went back to streaming in 2024, 2024 with following the minor, doing some gaming on stream, doing some GeoGuessr on stream. Those guys came back into my stream. I realized there was like a community. I realized the esports was like really big. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing the esports course. I was like, wait, I have to go visit the world championship, and that's also how I kind of grew into the role of organizing some tournaments. Because I think I organized my first tournament, which was a 2v2 tournament at the end of the minor program,
Mm-hmm.
for some classmates, because we didn't really do like a gaming tournament to end
Uh-huh.
the whole thing, which some of us were expecting it, because you're doing an
Yeah.
esports program, you kind of expect for the last couple of weeks or like last days to do like maybe a tournament within the class between classmates. So that's what I hosted. That's why I hosted a 2v2 GeoGuessr tournament, and I invited some of my classmates, invited some other noobs, and we just made it a 2v2 beginner tournament. That's the first tournament I hosted, and then from there it grew. And that's also how I have all my connections within the Netherlands, within Dutch esports, because I followed that course. And
Yeah.
then from there on, people knew I was the GeoGuessr guy within the Netherlands, basically. And that kind of grew into me doing all sorts of things up until like a month ago. I was given a workshop at the Dutch police force about GeoGuessr.
Do they were they trying to use it for sort of like geolocating people
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
sort of
yeah. So
stuff
it
rather
was
than
a conference day about
hmm
OSINT. So OSINT's open source intelligence,
yeah.
obviously, and geolocation is a very big aspect of OSINT. And GeoGuessr and geolocation obviously have a couple of things in common. So it was
hmm
basically how do geoguessers look at the world through GeoGuessr, and how
Yeah.
do people within OSINT look at the world through um, their computer screen, and how does that differ from each other? Because geolocation you can obviously Google, but
hmm
within GeoGuessr that's not allowed. So those two
Yeah.
groups look at completely different things when they get a picture in front of them. And the workshop kind of went into that, and how also we also even discussed the region guessing library, for example, the region guessing meta library, because that was very, very interesting for a lot of them. The
hmm
way the community helps each other with finding new clues, and then also sharing those clues, which
mm
is something they're not used to within those in the community, um, in terms of like looking at power lines and stuff.
Yeah, through OSM and
Yeah,
yeah, no power line. Yeah, power lines, and then I know there's like overpass turbo and things like that that you can use
yeah.
to really narrow down search areas.
Mm.
I've been a part of a couple of geolocating hunts myself. Probably not really been too helpful. It's normally Havard and Mumrick that normally jump on that. But those, I'm pretty sure there's been talks with sort of Scandinavian police forces as well around the same
Mm.
thing. So and I think the police forces seeming to catch on and sort of like talk to people about that sort of thing these days.
Yeah, I think it's a good development. I think
hmm
there's a lot of GeoGuessr players that might be interested within the OSINT world, just don't know how to get in, or don't know where to start. And I think both sides can definitely learn from each other.
So you said you hosted NKG, I guess, sir, and it was a LAN
Yeah,
this year.
yeah,
Over 1 million views overall, socials and everything.
yeah.
What is the progression on that? Do you want to host another one next year? Do you want to host a bigger tournament, like a European type thing? Because I know they have the GCEC, the Geoguessr Community and European Championships,
Yeah.
happening this year online, I believe. So what's the plan for the first of all NK, whether that's LAN next year, and then potentially like a bigger tournament from there?
So my problem is that I can have a lot of plans. It's just how do they how do we get them to work? And for NK GeoGuessr, um, luckily I had some savings and I could finance most of it myself.
hmm
Because I have my own company. I freelance within the broadcasting industry. So I do television work, which is also why a lot of people thought the production quality was very, very good for the tournament, at least for the online part of it.
hmm
It's because I'm experienced within that front of things, also within like other esports tournaments within other games. But um, the LAN part is what makes it very expensive,
Yep.
um, and that's where um, we get to a budget that is doable in the Netherlands,
hmm
um, because we're a very, very small country and everyone can travel back and forth in one day.
Yep.
But looking at a bigger region, for example, starting with Benelux, it already gets more complicated because if people from Belgium or Luxembourg are to compete, they, depending on where we host it, we'd have to arrange hotels, we'd have to arrange um, maybe like flights or train travel or whatever. And that obviously is already going to run in the costs, and then it's probably not worth it to make it a 1 day tournament. So it'll have to be 2 days, and all of that is going to increase the costs by quite a lot. And considering that we already ran on a big loss this year, which was all covered by me, I'm not sure if a bigger region is the way to go unless we can secure the sponsors, which is something I am looking at right now. And I'm definitely planning to host another Dutch championship next year in 2026. Luckily, we've already talked about it in terms of dates, so there is already a date in my mind. Already, luckily this year, hopefully the planning is all going well and it's not going to um, collide with a GeoGuessr major. Like last year, unfortunately, it wasn't the same day as the Dallas major or the America's major.
Yep.
And now the talks have been so far that hopefully it'll be it won't be on the same day.
Do you have a
But
location
yeah,
for
so
it?
sorry.
Do you have a location, a venue?
Yeah, so if it's going to be a Dutch championship again, it will just be the same location.
Okay.
So it'd be in Hilversum, where we have a beautiful partnership with a school there, the MBO College Hilversum, which hosts an esports gaming and event manager course, which obviously is amazing for the type of tournament we're hosting, because we're hosting an esports tournament where they can event manage.
Yep.
And it's about gaming, so like all three aspects of the course there really fit with the tournament. So um, last year as well, we had a couple of students helping out on the day itself with the LAN, and we had one of the students who was doing it as their graduation project, helping me out for like the full 4 months with preparation, all that stuff. Did all the catering and was really really nice collaboration with the school. Also because they sponsored the venue. And they also have the gaming PCs ready. They have the desks ready. Like basically everything we need for the LAN setup, they've got in house. So we don't have to rent anything except for the streaming equipment.
Oh yeah, especially with your broadcast and how you want the stream set up and everything. So
yeah, so luckily for the streaming equipment, it also wasn't that expensive previous year, and I hope next year we can also get a collaboration within the same school. They have an AV department where they actually Hilversum is like the media city of the Netherlands. So they have
I've never heard of it called that.
Yeah,
Every time everyone mentions Hilversum, I don't go there. I've heard.
It's in the middle of the country. It's in the middle of the country, and it's the media center of the Netherlands. It's where all big television studios are.
Oh, okay.
So it's also where if you want to have like an AV course that wants to help out with this whole live stream, it's the one you want in Hilversum, because they have all the equipment you need. They even have a couple of TV studios like that they could use for this sort of event.
Yeah.
As long as we get to agree on certain terms, obviously. So for this year, I'm hoping to do both the esports gaming event management course and the AV tech course, whatever they have in terms of media, and to collab those two, so we can have both the LAN event organized by the event managers, and we have the live stream organized by the media courses that they have, which would be a great educational project for all of them, I think, because it gets them hand-on within esports. It gets them a hands-on experience.
Does that free you up as well for the event?
Sorry.
Does that free you up for the event so
Yeah,
you can go and
absolutely.
do other
Yeah.
things?
Because
Yeah.
this year I was way too busy. Because the thing is, when you're organizing things, you have to talk with everyone. I had to talk with the press, so I had to talk with Dutch television, national television. There
Hmm.
was some insane interviews there. And then I did obviously I had to talk with all the sponsors that were there because we had a couple of sponsors who were visiting as well to come watch the event. Um,
Yeah.
I had to arrange some of the catering. I had to, I mean, I had to do a lot of the behind the scenes for the live stream because
Hmm.
we had two camera operators, we had one director, but both the camera operators and the director had never done their jobs. Like they had never done those roles. They were just my friends who
Hmm.
I'd asked, like, do you want to help out? But they had no experience within those roles. Like the director did not know what buttons to press. And then we also had some audio issues within the venue. So people in the venue couldn't hear the audio, and we had to fix that for like a whole hour. But I was the only person on site with technical experience or knowledge.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, it was a lot of chaos. I was doing way too much, way too
Yeah.
much that day. So um, yeah, having specific people with already some experience there would definitely free me up. Because there were a couple of people that came up to me at the World Championship that said, "Hey, love the event. I was there." I was like, "Wait, you were there?" Like there were so many people within the
Yeah.
Dutch community
You just had no time
that
to.
I knew were coming, but that I just didn't see at all,
Hmm.
which I think was a shame.
Uh, well, I want to say congratulations again. I probably said it offline, but it was a great tournament. Like I said, I
Thank
would
you.
have gone, but I had something planned that day myself. Running documentary, which it happens. But you were speaking about meeting people at the World Championship again.
Yeah.
I just want to go back and obviously use your knowledge from sort of like esports organization and other things you've done. What is
Mhm.
one thing that you would like to add into the main GeoGuessr ecosystem, sort of like the esports? If you could just choose one thing to implement, what would you choose?
One thing to implement.
In this, whether it's the format of the finals, or whether it could be like the whole entire format of it, or it could just be like you said earlier, just like removing the entertainment during the finals. What's the one thing that
Okay.
you would
One
like?
thing
Yeah,
I want to
just
change so many things
yeah, but
about, about the
the
World
top of the
Championship.
top priority for you, what would
Top
it be?
priority for me would be to. Ooh, it's a tough one.
If you want to mention a couple of things, I'm not going
I,
to stop you. But like,
I mean, maybe to start, it would be to get rid of the country representation
hmm,
in terms of how it's distributed.
yeah.
Because there's too many people that are not given a chance just because their country's already got too
Hmm.
many players within the championship.
So obviously, you're saying they can still represent their countries. It's just
Yeah.
in terms of, oh, we're limiting it to a certain amount of people per country.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
No, I
No.
have been a advocate for getting rid of that, or getting rid of, yeah, just getting rid of that in general for the longest time.
Yeah.
I was happy with the name change, considering for me World Cup would have been like one person from each
Yeah.
nation going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
when they weren't
Agreed.
doing that, I was like, well, it's more of a World Championship. And then at that point, why are you limiting it? But so I
We'll
do
see.
agree with that point. Is there anything
Yeah.
else burning that you wanted to say? But
Yeah, I hated the single elim 16-person format they had this year. I love the groups format they had
hmm,
last year, which is in my opinion, a fairer format for all of the participants because now some of them would just come in for one game,
hmm,
uh, fly in like across continents just to play one game of GeoGuessr or like
yeah,
one match, which in any sort of game would not be acceptable
no,
in any other esport, especially if it's the world finals. Like
yes,
it's just not okay. You need a group stage beforehand. I get that it's gonna take more time of them, and considering that this was in Copenhagen and not in Stockholm for them, it would have cost them more money, which is why I assume they didn't do it.
Hmm.
Um, and they used like the days before the championship for like media days and stuff. Which, to be fair, the media days were very solid this year, and
Hmm.
I enjoy all the content they had made this year. But I think a group stage is absolutely needed for finals, whenever,
Yes,
wherever.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Um, there was what was I going to say? I can't even remember. I was about to go on to something and I completely blanked. But the group stages I've always advocated for. I keep going back to like because my other main esports is Siege that I watch and I'm going to watch. But even with those, there was complaints in the past couple of years when Blast was running it about some people, some APAC teams were flying to the US or to Europe and they'd come in, they'd play a game, they'd lose it, then they'd play a second game that day and lose it, and then they're flying home again.
Yeah.
And some of the majors, and that's just the majors. That's not the big one. So when it comes to sort of GeoGuessr, I know I've heard that they believe that the World League was sort of like the group stage, but to me that's
No,
ridiculous.
it wasn't.
And then you've got people who didn't play in the World League coming and playing in the World Championship. I just felt like you needed like the group stage, and that was it. The I don't know if you got a form, like a feedback form that they asked you for,
Yeah.
emailed through to you. I remember one of the questions was, so how many days would you like the championship to be? And
Mm.
obviously, in a place like Copenhagen, 2 days of it is fine because considering it's expensive as anything for a fan or a viewer to go and watch
Yep.
that.
Yep.
But sort of like for you, what would be the ideal for sort of final setup?
The ideal final setup for me with an audience in any sort of esports would be 3 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just the classic esports experience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with GeoGuessr always doing the finals on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit more difficult, obviously. But I enjoy a 3 day finals weekend. Also because it means you um, don't have as packed of days
Mm-hmm.
as we have within GeoGuessr. Especially this year, I think the schedule, both for the audience as for the players, was horrendous. It
Yes.
was way too much. I remember saying like a week before going to Copenhagen, like, yeah, I'm not going to be there for like both days all day because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be too much GeoGuessr. It's going to be, I don't want to be in the venue from 2 p.m. or like from 1 p.m. up until
Yeah.
like 11. It's too long. I wouldn't do that for any sort of esports. Now, eventually, I did stay the whole day, which is besides the point. But I just had too much fun.
There's too many people to
but
talk to.
but still, I do think, I think the Saturday of eventually, I think it was fine with
Mm-hmm.
all the entertainment in between. But I do think it was still a very very long game, a long day. Um, uh, yeah, I'd still say it was too long,
Mm-hmm.
and it's better to spread it out over 3 days.
Yeah. Like I remember answering the question and being like, I would have the entire finals be like 5 days, not necessarily games, but like 2 days for group stage. Like not
Yeah.
necessarily the fans don't have to be there for the group stage; they have to
Oh
be
yeah,
in
no,
like a
obviously, yeah,
building,
yeah.
and
Group
then
stage, I'm excluding group stage
oh
from
okay,
those 3 days.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Just
and
like any
then
other esports, usually other esports do like last 3 days are with an
yeah,
audience
yeah,
in the arena, and then like the other days are like in a studio somewhere in the same city, group
mm-hmm.
stages and stuff. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
No, definitely more than 3 days. But like
mm-hmm.
group stage is
Yeah,
excluded because usually it's without an audience. Yeah.
because I had group stages, and then I had like a day off for media day slash preparing the actual venue, and then it was like two finals days split across like
Yeah.
quarterfinals one day, and then semi-finals, third place, and finals the next day. And I thought that
Yeah.
would be ideal in terms of like you've got still got 2 days of GeoGuessr that fans can come to, and but like you have it's fairer for the competitors, and it's a lot like you could get
Yeah,
that day off beforehand so that you can go and explore the city if you want to, sort of thing.
yeah. I think I'd like to see group stage the weekend before the finals weekend, so on a Saturday and Sunday, because it's still gonna get them a lot of entertainment, a lot of viewership. I know that gives a lot of days in between.
Yeah,
Um, but
it's a
it's
lot of
about the same days they had in between this year, from when the players arrived until when they started playing. Because I think most players arrived during the weekend or on a
mm,
Monday.
I I believe they've arrived on the Tuesday. Some of them Tuesday,
Okay,
Wednesday.
Tuesday, or still then
Yeah,
2 days extra. Because Wednesday, and I'm not sure, but I think Monday,
it's
Tuesday, I don't think they're gonna want to do that because like because you still want to have the community meetup, right?
yeah.
Surely. So you want to have that on a Thursday. You want to use Wednesday as a media day, and Monday, Tuesday as game days. And Monday, Tuesday are always going to bring down your viewership. So in that case,
Mm-hmm.
what's the 2 extra days bringing it to the weekend for more viewers in
Uh,
terms of
yeah.
looking at it from a marketing perspective?
I was going to say that obviously adding an extra 3 or 4 days on potentially to some people from when they turned up this year, if you're going to do it on a Saturday,
Yeah.
um, can sort of obviously that's 3 or 4 extra days of hotel prices, flight, all of this stuff. But at the same time, I was about to say you could just get them to, you could fly people home after the group stages if they're not going but I assume you're not gonna force people to go home if
I
you're
mean, I
there for
mean,
the
it's
entire
also you can
finals.
use them Monday and Tuesday as extra
Hmm.
media days. Give them the Monday off. Use
Yeah,
Tuesday, Wednesday as media days. You get double media days, which means you can do extra fun formats like they did this year,
yeah.
and you can push out videos until like a couple of months after the event
Hmm.
is done. With like the one day just posted from the what was it, the APEC major?
Yes,
Um,
it was the walking around Tokyo, wasn't it?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like they posted it a couple months later.
Hmm.
Surely they have their reasons for it, but like you could do the same for the World Championship.
Yeah.
Just make a couple of videos on those Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then you can still push that a couple of months
True.
in the future, so your YouTube content doesn't lie down when it's
Yeah.
off season.
It's just whether that recoups any and the same amount of money as
Obviously
it's all
not,
it's
but
not, but like yeah,
for
for sponsors
in
because you can have
esports,
those videos as sponsored sort of thing and make money back that
yeah,
way.
and in esports, it's never about generating money.
No, you're always losing.
Not a single esports is about
Yeah.
generating money. It's always about generating players for the game,
Hmm.
generating new audience for the game. So, and I think GeoGuessr is doing a perfect job with that.
Yeah.
They are absolutely smashing it, and I think having an extra media day is would be a good thing for them in terms of the scheduling that we just discussed.
Hmm. No, I think we'd it would be a surprise to me if they do push it to like uh, eight 8 to 9 days of them all being in one place and doing that
No, absolutely. I
for the
don't see them
finals.
doing it.
No.
I don't see them doing it. But like,
Yeah.
if
But
there's an
yeah.
option, if there's an optimal sort of
Hmm.
uh, schedule, that one would be the optimal one for me, I'd say.
And then yeah, the other thing that I didn't think of until just now was the fact that most of the players are like
Yeah,
the amount of time they'd have to have away from jobs or stuff
yeah.
like that would also come into it. Um,
I do think that's the one issue
yeah.
within GeoGuessr esports right now. All of the
Hmm.
players still have either full time jobs or school.
Yeah.
So it's very, very hard for them to get that much time off. Yeah, no, absolutely agree.
Um, I think that's all I had. Is anything else you wanted to bring up? Anything? Any fun facts about yourself that you think
Fun
that
facts about
people would
myself.
like to hear?
Um, ooh,
Oh.
that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Um, Yeah, I'd like to see more replays within GeoGuessr.
Oh.
Within GeoGuessr Esports, they implemented it for the first time during the World Championship this year, during the finals,
Mm-hmm.
with reactions of players and stuff. I'd like to see that throughout the whole year with all LAN events and stuff this upcoming year. Mainly because I'm a replay operator myself within broadcasts.
Are you trying to
I
find a
do all
job for
sorts
yourself?
of roles. I'm just trying to work within GeoGuessr broadcast.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing I'd love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is work within the GeoGuessr broadcast. Mainly because I have experience working esports broadcast. I have experience doing traditional broadcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Just this weekend, I was doing replay operating for a equestrian event within the Netherlands, hosted on Dutch television. I was doing football the week before. The week before, I'm doing like all sorts of things. I was doing League of Legends in the summer during Gamescom. Like, I'd love to do GeoGuessr esports one day. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
definitely at the top of my list. I don't
It
even want to be in front of the screen. Just behind the scenes is fine.
and I've also would love to do something within the Gigas esports, but not broadcasting, sort of more of the like the videography style stuff.
Mhm.
But that's for another day, I think. I've put my hat in the ring, but you can't really expect anything.
Yeah, I feel like getting GeoGuessr broadcast is even a bit harder because like you gotta
Mm-hmm.
get your name in with the BME guys,
You gotta speak
and most of
Swedish.
them speak Swedish.
Yeah.
I don't speak Swedish,
I mean,
so that's a tough one as
yeah.
well. I know one of them follows me back on Twitter, so surely this year.
I mean, this is your year.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Well, I look forward to seeing what NKG I guess it has. I'll try and leave links to everything in the description if I remember it. All the
Yep.
NKG I guess stuff, all your stuff. Is any final words?
I mean, yeah, just a question to the audience: do we
Oh,
want to see a Dutch championship or do we want to see a Benelux championship this year? Because I'm still in between things. I'm not sure what to do.
mm-hmm.
I think we can pull off both in terms of finances. Um, but there's also the thing with Benelux is we can probably appeal to a wider market,
Yeah.
um, especially because we can do an English stream. Um, but then the question arises: who do we get to cast it?
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the Dutch guys would still be able to do it, but I
Yeah.
don't think um, I think there's better options probably, but then you'd have to fly people in.
Yeah.
Gets more expensive again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, um, do we do a Benelux Championship with a Dutch broadcast and get an English watch party, for example? Like, there's
Yeah.
so many opportunities, but I think Belgium and Luxembourg are too small to host their own tournaments in like the near future. So I think it'd be very cool to get them involved within the whole region as a tournament. Um, but well, yeah, I'm not
Money.
sure. It's money. It's also, do we do a Dutch stream? Do we do a French stream? Do we do an English stream? Do we do all three? Do we do just the Dutch one? If we
Yeah.
do Dutch French, do we want all commentators on location? Do we just want the Dutch ones on location? Where are we going to host it? Are we going to host it still in Hilversum where it's cheap to host it? Are we going to host it in maybe like Brussels or
Mm-hmm.
like
How easy is
Maastricht,
it?
which is like somewhere in between?
How is it to get to Hilversum from Luxembourg and Belgium? Is it just Amsterdam or and then train or stuff
I
like that?
checked it. It should be doable
Okay.
with trains. Yeah, should be doable. But the thing is, it'd have to be multiple days because
Yeah.
you can't do it like in one day back and forth, which is the main downside of a Benelux tournament for me. Looking at it financially,
And if you're doing multiple
'cause
days, you're not going to do a knockout style tournament on the finals, are you? Or are you still going to do it over 2 days?
I'm not sure. I think it would still be a 1 day tournament.
Oh, okay.
Just the Belgian and
Travel in.
Luxembourgish players
Yeah.
would be there
Yeah.
for multiple days
Oh, okay.
in terms of travel. Yeah.
Well, as I say, if you're getting people to come in for multiple days, you may as well sort of like do the group stage or something like that on one
Yeah,
day and
yeah.
then the finals on the next. But if it probably makes
but
it cheaper
that's the
that if
thing
we
with
don't
this year
get
as well.
all the Dutch people in on the first day as well.
Yeah. And you'd have to have all the Dutch people travel back and forth all the days, or you'd still have to get them a hotel as well. Like, no, that's gonna get too crazy.
Anyway, well, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Chat. And goodbye.
Goodbye.